Now we have over 5 acres that we're working to develop into our little shed to house, tiny house conversion paradise. But what we've discovered in the month since we purchased it is that every time we drive up here, we have unexpected cost associated with some life lessons that we're learning as we do this. So first things first, we close on the property. We're so freaking excited. So of course you drive to the property, and we do. But every time we had come up to see this property leading up to that closing period, we were taking the hub's truck. We drive the car, lo and behold, the ditch, by the way, does not look that deep. But when we drove the car through it and we hear that scratch kind of situation on the underside, we're like, oh my God. So we're a little traumatized. But what it meant for us was that we pretty much needed to shell out the money for a culvert. We had done it before, and I've got a video on that if you want to check it out. But we had done it before and it was $600, but magically it was $1,800 at this location. And that money disappeared quick. And when we bought the property, it hadn't had a survey in 3 years. We're kind of interested in fencing at least one of the property lines that doesn't already have one. No big deal. Until we could not find the survey pins. Still not a big deal. They're just iron rods in the ground. But to keep it short for you, we had 5 trips. This place is 2 hours from our house, and we still could not find the survey pins. It was so annoying. No big deal, right? The adventure and life lessons here isn't part one of those 5 trips involved. My husband was attacked by a pit bull. His rubber boots, of course, suffered damage. It did break skin, so we were advised to go to a medical facility where we had that copay and all that stuff. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we still had to pay a guy to come out and finish finding the pins for us. We could not find one of the 5 that we needed. Irritating and more money. Okay, so the land is empty. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's no bathroom. It's fine, right? We actually come out here for mainly day trips at this point. But what it means is that we actually have to drive up the road. It's kind of one of those one-horse towns, and they do have a convenience store with a gas station and such, so that's super nice to have one so close, but it also means that to use the restroom in our mostly cleared land, we buy something, right? So we did start bringing lunches and things like that up here, but we still buy drinks or what have you. So that is one of those like fun things that we're like, we always spend money when we come up here. Another thing that's just more fun than more of an annoyance is that we also try to frequent the locals around here. And so like there's a little snow cone shop up the road that we make sure to bring cash for. And it's literally winter here and we're still having those snow cones because as long as those boys are out there selling snow cones, we're gonna have them. So what I hope you're taking away from this so far is that you have to have a sense of humor for this all to work. There's gonna be tons of mistakes along the road, lots of life lessons, and some might be costly, some might not. So leave a comment below if you've had something crazy happen to you. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're kind of on a similar journey or about to embark on one. I'd love to hear about your little adventures in the comments. I'm glad I don't have any images of this, but when we were coming out here initially, ticks, lots and lots of ticks. Why do I feel like that was something from Under the Tuscan Sun with ladybugs, Katherine? But ticks, Katherine. Anyhow, too many of them. They loved my husband in particular, so now we come out basically with a bag. So while they didn't cost money on like when we would discover these things necessarily, they are dangerous, right? Lyme disease and such. So we have to carry off and all that. So now as part of the off, we bring like first aid kit, trash bags, wipes, things like that to make it a little more comfortable when we are out here. And it's pretty much the bag that we use when we go camping. So it's like grab the bag to go camp, grab the bag to run up to the property. But it's not something we thought of at first. There's something about just needing it before you finally remember to bring it, you know, maybe the 3rd time. And then we got stuck. That was fun. It has been so dry. It took a while before we actually put in an offer on this land, and then we thought about it for a little bit. And then of course there's that long process of even making it happen. So we had driven up here multiple times and, take the truck out. We'd been working with the owners of the land and we were able to drive our truck out. We go all the way to the back several times. Each of those times that we were looking for those survey pins. But we actually got a nice rain when we weren't up here and we drove it. And it was kind of a low point on the property, but it's still not something that we've like even had a hint of mud. And he got stuck. So that was fun. The cheapskate and that man, he will never call a wrecker. His dad was out helping him hooking up some like electrical stuff. He actually had him drive to town and they bought a jack and came out here and got the truck unstuck. So I'm pretty sure that was like a 3 or 4 hour ordeal. And we have a floor jack at home, but now we have 2. But one's in the truck right now. He doesn't come up here without it. even though the truck is on that limestone of the culvert. So all of these adventures are totally survivable. And again, got to keep that sense of humor about it. But if you want to keep learning from our expenses and mistakes that we have on this journey, so check out this video here if you want to keep up with the adventures.